Whether you're making images or videos, whatever it might be, you're in the right place. The Visual Lounge is about to begin live. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are and wherever you're watching from. So grateful that you're here today with us. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you for downloading and listening there on whatever platform you're on. We're glad to have you along with us. And if you're watching live, don't forget to chat. Add some comments, add some questions. We've got a great conversation we're going to be having with Kassy LaBorie today. She is back. A couple weeks ago, you might remember that she came on the show. We talked about her making her first video and walked through kind of all the preparation steps. Since then, she has gone and recorded and made video. And today we're going to take all those parts and pieces and put them together and see what we can come up with to help her learn the process of editing. Now, I can almost guarantee you we are not going to finish up the whole video editing process, but we're going to hopefully get her in a good place and get her to give something that she can probably say she'll want to throw it out and redo it, because that's how all first videos really are. But before we get to Kassy, and I'll introduce her again in just a second, I want to remind everybody that there's going to be a little gap in the shows. We're going to take about 6 weeks to rethink, renew, refresh, review, kind of look at all the things that we're doing with the show, because we want to really make sure, one, it's been 2 years since we launched the show. We actually started going live March 2020. And all that time, since March 2020, we've missed very few weeks that we didn't actually have some content. So some weeks we were doubling up so we could continue having content every single week. 100 and almost like 30 different shows, and that includes when we were doing the video workflow show with Justin and Andy. So it's been a lot of content in 2 years. We just need a break to kind of step back and think about things. And I promise we'll be back towards the end of August. But we just, we're really grateful for the opportunity. Thank you. Hope everyone keeps listening. And if you know me, I'll probably drop something once in a while just to stay in touch, because we love sharing our information and knowledge with you guys. So with that said, speaking of sharing knowledge, let's introduce today's guest. Kassy LaBorie is a master virtual classroom trainer and the original virtual training hero on a mission to rid the world of boring slide reading lectures. Oh, I'm reading right now. Oh, the irony, and passive live online participants. So don't be passive. Engage with us. She's a principal at Kassy LaBorie Consulting, certifying L&D professionals become virtual trainers, designers, and producers around the globe each day. Catch her sharing tips on how to be a virtual training hero at our Online Hero Hangout the last Friday of each month and on LinkedIn. You can always learn more by visiting her website, KassyConsulting.com. With that said, Kassy LaBorie, welcome back to the Visual Lounge.
Hi, it's so happy to be here. I'm excited.
Now, Kassy, besides anyone from TechSmith, you you have been on the show more than anyone else that does not work for TechSmith. So
seriously, do I get a badge or anything like that?
We'll get you a Visual Lounge badge, as seen on the Visual Lounge.
Yes, I'll do that. That's cool. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming back. So we're gonna get into some video editing. We're gonna have some screen sharing stuff today. We're gonna walk through this process. But let's start, because we did a lot of that prep in that show, and I know walking away, I probably was like, man, there's a million things that we just can't cover in an hour. And we chat here once in a while about things, but let's just get a gauge. How are you feeling about this video at this point? And be honest.
Well, I'm really excited that you are helping me with it, because I'm pretty darn clueless. I think that's why you invited me. The noob of the noob here, but I'm feeling all right about it. As you know, we've had some conversations. I don't love what I've recorded, because I can tend to have perfectionist, ways about me. But that said, I'm glad I have all these things to work with, and I'm really looking forward to learning how you bring all these pieces together to tell a quick story via video.
Yeah, absolutely. And and I think that's a really good observation, right? Like, a lot of us have these perfectionist tendencies. We want things to look better. And most people, in my experience, that first video, whatever it is, it's like, because you're surrounded by all the stuff that you see, right? Like, just for kind of full transparency, you and I looked at some videos today of a creator, and but we have to remember, every creator has their first video, and unless they're paying somebody big money, it's probably not looking like the videos they're making today, right?
Yeah, that's the whole perfectionist tendencies I was referring to. But yeah, and of course, I go for somebody who's like got a whole studio around them and maybe, a decade of experience behind them. Of course, that's what I want. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so before we dive into the actual editing, remind us of what your goal and purpose for this video was or
I
is.
I had this very grand idea that the very first video that I would ever make in my whole life would be something I could put on my website. But the goal of it was to introduce people to me when they came to my website, and to give them an actionable tip, if you would, on how to do their virtual training better, with just a very quick video. So they meet me and they get a sense of my personality, and then they get a great tip that they can use right away.
Okay, perfect. And so then you've got your goal. Tell us what was your process to get to the point where we're going to be editing today? Did did you do the script? Did you go out and just look for assets and materials? Did you record yourself? What were the things that you were working on?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you guys made it very easy for me. Let me tell you that. And the script or the storyboard idea was very, very helpful. I did talk to a few friends who I know make videos. I'm like, what do you do? And so what it ended up being is that I started with the script and like, what's the story I want to tell, and in each bit. And so I love that file that you gave me. It's just a very simple table, but I actually wrote the story first, and then what would happen in each story section. And then from there, it was like, all right, what does each piece potentially look like? Would that be a picture? Would that be words? Where am I talking? Where am I on screen? And I just kind of went through that and made a draft. And honestly, I didn't overthink it. I think I went through the whole thing, and I found I really enjoyed writing the story a lot more than I thought I would, because I did procrastinate for quite a while on that. But then once I did it, I actually really liked it and sent it over to you for your feedback. And I was expecting you to send me a new version. And you were like,